Hey everyone, how you doing today? First thing I want to say is happy Thanksgiving weekend, and I hope you guys are all enjoying a nice turkey meal, whether it be today or tomorrow. And no updates this weekend. Too tired. Stayed up till far past my bedtime. 12:30, 1 o'clock. I don't know what it was, but both Friday and Saturday night watching the Mr. O. Paid me $75. Watched Friday night, Saturday morning, and Saturday night. That was an awesome show, but it did play me out. I'm an old guy. Well, 7 days a week, I go to bed 9:30, 10 o'clock, and 7 days a week, I get up 5:15, 5:30 in the morning, and not used to staying up that late, and my old biological clock still gets me up at 5:15, so I want to eat anyway, get my first meal. I don't want to miss that opportunity, get the protein in there, get that muscle going. So anyway, I was a bit groggy all weekend, so we're going to skip the update picks this week, and maybe we'll get back at it again next week. So I thought I'd just give my thoughts on the Mr. O. But before I do that, I just want to say thank you to Jamie and Perry Peterson. Just got back from a nice shoulder workout with them, and it was perfect timing. I ran into Jamie earlier, and we scheduled a workout together, and couldn't come at a perfect time because we said I was a little bit down today and kind of dragging my butt around. So those guys kicked me around a little bit, and just had a pretty good workout. Got that in. So I just thought I'd few my thoughts on the Olympia weekend. And first of all, congratulations to all the winners of all the classes, particularly the two Canadians that won the classes. Chris Bumstead, he won the classic physique again, and he'll probably continue to win. He's pretty dominant in that category, and he's a classy guy. He presents himself as a champion. You can tell when he walks out, he's the class act, and his speech was awesome at the end. So he carries that class really well. And then Jennifer Dory, she won the bikini. I'm not up on bikini that well, but I do recognize that she's Canadian. I actually seen her win the Arnold Classic here a couple of weeks ago, so I am getting a bit more familiar with her. So rather go through like the winners and stuff, but just some of the standouts that that I'm going to remember from the Olympia is what I'll kind of touch on. And for me, women's bodybuilding, the Miss All. So glad to have back. I've been a fan of that forever. They always freak me out when they can get that kind of muscularity and size, and each their own. Everybody, if a woman wants to go and get jacked, big muscles, I applaud them for that. That's their choice, right? And I think it's awesome. And in particular, the good thing about the women's body, they were all in condition. I can't say that about the open guys, but the women bodybuilding, all in condition. I didn't see any holding water. All had amazing posing routines, and in particular, the winner, Andrea Shaw. She's probably, to me, the most complete athlete. Yeah, she's definitely the most complete athlete of any competitor that I've ever seen. You could pick flaws in the open guy Ram. You could pick flaws in Chris Bumstead, but I can't think any flaws in that lady Ferris, looking from a bodybuilding aspect of it. And I think she's going to be dominant in that class for a long time. So anyway, big fan. Congrats to Andrea Shaw. Another standout athlete that is in my mind is Terrence Ruffin, who got second to Chris in Classic. And what amazing physique, what amazing poser that guy is, and a real class act. He's 5'6". He goes up against Chris, who's like 6'1". If they were the same height, Chris would have some trouble on his hands dealing with that guy. I'm telling you, he's got some nice lines. And again, I'm going to say that whole class, I'm starting to become a fan. I'm going to be honest, I really never was before, because they didn't really have the size that appealed to me, other than Chris. Because Chris was, in my mind, a freak, almost an open guy that diets himself down just to make his weight class, and then he dominates the classic physique because of his great structure, small waist, and all that kind of thing. But the more I watch it, and I see that each and every one of them, again, that like the women bodybuilding, every one of them were in super condition. none holding water that I could see, not much anyway. And they all put in amazing posing routines, and just, it's definitely going to grow. It could very well overtake open bodybuilding. I can see that now. So anyway, hats off to Terrence. Really a big fan. As far as the open guys, Brandon Curry is, his physique to me is, you know, if I could pick one physique in the world and wake up tomorrow and look like, that'd be the guy I'd want to look like. And I think most like teenage boys and stuff, you know, when they're starting bodybuilding, they want the big round muscles, the pop, the big chest, the big arms, the wide back. He's just built like a superhero, that guy. He just, you know, got outsized. You know, he doesn't have the legs really to handle Ramy, but, you know, he's got the perfect physique. And I'm huge fan of Brandon. And I almost thought he was going to win there for a while, because they're both about equal condition. Maybe Brandon might have been a little bit better in the prejudging, but Ramy got drier and drier even at the finals. Every like in comparisons, he got drier. Then when he came out to do his posing routine, he walked in, it was just like a total different person. I can see, well, he is the obvious winner. He's just too big, and he still has good symmetry for being that size. And anyway, deserved winner, and a super nice guy. He's a huge following. He's just actual superstar. You know, I believe he's from Egypt, and he's a superstar over there. So anyway, that was another standout, another guy that turned me around completely. And I took right to the finals to do it, because I didn't even think he belonged in the top 5 in the prejudging. It was Hunter Laborato. But when he came out to the finals, he had either filled up or dried out a little bit. And I could see what everybody else was talking about. His structure, his size. I never realized how big he was, but he actually made Nick Walker look small. And that's hard to do. And he has a super structure, small waist, wide clavicles, big calves. He's complete. Only thing he might be missing is a little bit of muscularity in his lower back, and maybe a bit more in his chest. And he's got to learn to nail his conditioning. Hire Heidi Chapan's coach, former coach of Phil Heath, Heidi Rambaugh, and nail that conditioning. And I think he has the best chance of all the young guys to be a Mr. O someday, just based on his structure and his size, what I seen last night. So again, I was not a huge fan of his, but he turned me around to the finals last night. Even though I still kind of question whether he belonged there, because I don't think he quite had the conditioning. But anyway, he has the potential. And I want to give a shout out to the judges, and from all the shows that I've seen this year and previous years especially, I don't think there's very much politics anymore in bodybuilding in those professional rankings. So I can't think any call that I really disagree with. So a lot of times you might think that you disagree with them, because the live stream sometimes is, you know, you don't get the might be a bit blurry, and it doesn't show the true conditioning of the athletes. But when you see the interviews with the people that were actually there, and then you see some of the high definition pictures, they've nailed it. And you know, they don't seem to be afraid anymore. Like they dropped William Bonac, who's a perennial top 5 open guy, and put 2 young guys ahead of him. So hats off to the judges to do things fairly, and looks good. No politics involved. Another thing I liked was the commentators. Well, not all the commentators, but in particular Lee Labrada especially. Very professional, very knowledgeable, very positive. And Lee Haney as well in the open, but Lee Labrada in particular in the classic, he was just super. Like that's how a commentator really should be. Some of the guys from the older generation, I'll point right out, Sean Ray is one of them. He just has a very negative way of there's no constructive criticism there. It's very negative, and he's always trying to allude back to how much better older bodybuilding was. And he tried to lead both those guys down that path, but both kind of strayed away from it and stayed positive. So hats off to them. They're good commentators, and I'd like to see Fouad Abadad and maybe Dennis James get in there and give Sean Ray a little rest. And I think that would make even better show. Another little takeaway, kind of made me think a little bit was from a guy that I admire a lot because he's a super hard worker, and he took all year. He qualified the bistro late last year and took the whole year. And I've been watching on Food Habitat. James Hollings said, I really expect a big thing from James. But he looked like his body was tired, really, at the show. And I think he stayed lean too long. And he looked really flat. And I know it's going to be a huge disappointment for him because, you know, I think he put all his eggs in this basket, trained full year for this. And I watched it on Food Ed and expected big things from himself. So kind of made me think of my own situation here. I'm an older guy too, and you know I've been lean for a long time now, so I gotta watch myself going into these last 5 weeks, not to get too depleted, not let my body get too tired looking, because you know I've done a lot of shows, and prepared for a lot of shows lately, and I'm not young, right? So I want to be healthy and I want to be as fresh looking as I can. So it's just a little takeaway I got from you know, some of the other guys that didn't place maybe as well as they thought they could have. So anyway, that's my kind of little wrap up for the bistro. I think it was a great show, particularly the finals. Even the open guys, they posed pretty decently, all of them. They did a better job than they did there on Classic. They seemed to be, whether it was the lighting at night in the finals, they were looked to be a lot better conditioned, so hats off to them. But anyway, changing gears, less than 5 weeks to the Flex Lewis Classic. Time to register, get your motels hooked up, and soon I imagine they'll be announcing, I believe Heather said about a month from the November 13th, the tickets would soon be on sale. So we'll get our tickets and get ready for that flex. I'm all registered up. I registered for one class for the Grandmasters. So I'm going to see how I go. I think I'm, you know, going to be competitive in the Open. I'll do that. But you know, my main thing is do the show, have fun, and feel good on stage. That's my main thing. Whether it's in one class or 2 classes or 3 or 4, that's my main goal, is just to feel good on stage and have fun and bring a package that I'm proud of. So, you know, it's a stretch for me to think that I could win the Flex Lewis Classic at 52, but never know, you know. I can't win it if I don't go in one of the open classes, so I'll probably end up doing one of the open classes. Can't win if you don't play, right? Anyway, again, happy Thanksgiving. I know we're going through a bit of a tough time in New Brunswick. We gotta stay to our households here, but make the best of it. And I'm sure we'll soon be out of this, and my glass is always half full. I'm sure by the Flex Lewis Classic, I'll be there cheering each other on and having a good time, and look forward to Christmas. Anyway, if you like the video, tell me, comment, hit like, subscribe to the channel, all that usual stuff, and see you sometime this week.